This is the Not Bitter, Just Better podcast.
The Everton our way.
Straight from the street end.
Howdy Blues, welcome to the Not Bitter, Just Better Everton podcast. Mr. Johnny 7 here for the one and only time. Come on, you Blues. So, thought I'd started off a little bit different today. A day late, but what a week it's been. What an 8 days it's been since I last recorded. Mr. Johnny 7 back in my semi-usual location in front of a green screen, which isn't well enough lit yet to be able to actually use as a proper green screen. So, and just been hectic. I ended up having to cover and work yesterday, which would be my normal, as I've been doing the last few weeks, Wednesday show. So I'm having to do this Thursday, 8th of May. A little bit later than I'd like to, because I wanted to talk about the Ipswich game last week and the Friday night before, and look ahead to the game at the weekend against Fulham. But I'm still going to go and recap a little bit, give my thoughts on that Ipswich game. But I'm going to start off just talking about Friday night first. So, as a great opportunity, I've mentioned a few times, or I mention it every week, don't I? Good mates with Paul, who runs Segura, and he puts a lot of amazing events on. And Friday night was no different. Well, it was just a special one, really. I'm pretty sure the club have stopped their official tours now. Paul's managed to get a few of his own bookings on, and it was meant to be the last one this Saturday while the Fulham game was happening. Meant to be booking, and his Friday night one last week was cancelled, but they ended up putting an extra one on for last Friday, and I haven't been behind the scenes like that for maybe 15 years. I mentioned it last time. I had a little kick around on the down the park end, and they wouldn't. It's changed a lot since then, but just some fascinating insight from behind the scenes, and the way they set up. I don't want to spoiler in case anyone is going to listen to this and then go to the last ones. But it just always makes me laugh the way they tell the stories about they try and make the away dressing room as not as accommodating as the home dressing room. So only 2 showers down here. It's kind of lucky dip whether it's hot and cold. Only 2 toilets in there. The weird shape so that when the manager's giving a team talk, the players have to gather around and then everyone can hear, and it's right underneath the stands, no soundproof or anything like that. So I always love hearing that insight, and then you go into the home dressing room, and I'm hopefully going to be into cutting some pictures of that in while I'm talking if I have time. But just amazing from going into the lounges and seeing, the videos and seeing all the tributes to some of our greats over the years in the 1985 club and then the 1878 lounge, and to the press room, down the tunnel into the changing rooms. As I say, the away game, the away one first, and then the home one, and then down the tunnel itself while Z Cars is playing, then out onto the pitch. And luckily enough, one of the regulars who used to go to Segura a lot is now works behind the scenes at Goodison, so he let us just wander a little bit further past and around the pitch area. It was still kind of, we still behaved ourselves, but in the dugout, just amazing. And Pat Van Den House works a lot with the club these days, so saw him and spent a lot of time with him after the tour and then after the game on Saturday as well. But Mark Ward was there as well. Derek Mountfield, I didn't get to see Degsy a lot, but Degsy ended up talking on the mic afterwards, and he really going through a lot, and I'm not going to talk about that here, but just really, I don't know, just proud to call him a Blue, the way he kind of spoke, and thoughts are with Degsy. But yeah, Mark Ward was great. He was, because we were there in like a fan capacity, but also as kind of helping ish. I hate saying that because it's what am I actually doing? But yeah, accompanying Paul, I guess, and yeah, Mark Ward. Just hearing some great stories from all his Everton stories and from some of his West Ham and Birmingham stories as well. So yeah, fascinating stuff. Hoping to maybe Mark's done a lot of podcasts in the past, and we talk about it a little bit, and hopefully might be able to get something sorted soon. But I don't know. I might be a little bit too weird to be. All my geekiness might come out, and we'll see. So that was the Friday night, and just made the weekend a little bit trickier, just a little bit. As I mentioned just then, the geekiness. So it was Comic Con, Liverpool Comic Con weekend as well. So they always time these things whenever they're at home. It's like, oh, it's just a pain in the ass. So that on the Friday night, which was a bit of a late one and a heavy one on the finest Segura vodka, and then Saturday morning at Comic Con, maybe about 8, half 8 in the morning, did the rounds a little bit, get some daft pictures, just taking in some of the sights, see some famous faces, and I've, as you will realise, I'm a bit of a weird one when comes to the match. I'm in my element in the Gladys Street, but I'm also in my element in that geeky environment. I feel just safe in both places. So it's quite a contrast, let's just say. But yeah, an early start, but it was starting to get little bit busy, and I'm starting to get a little bit anxious about making it to the footy to the bar beforehand. So must have shut off about 20 to 12. Met Paul down to Gora 12 o'clock, and then we had a few scoops and then a few more. We went early-ish in for the game, so saw little bits of the amazing work that the 1878 uh, group had done with the displays. Are just amazing, and I was getting choked up on the Friday night, getting choked up again on that Saturday for the game. It just how you just doesn't have to play with your emotions. It's like a middle-aged man, and just talking about you know a place that I've been going for 30 plus years, and I've said it before, it's been my constant. Um, friendships, relationships, jobs, all these things have come and gone, and Goodison's still been there. Of course, Everton are still always going to be there, but that it's yeah, it's going to be tricky to say goodbye anyway. Um, Fortunately, going to have one more opportunity than a lot of people because we've got the tour again on Saturday, and then the final game against Southampton. So just kind of keep trying to soak it all in, and just want to kind of just cover every inch of the ground and just soak in those memories. And I'm one for picky, so a couple of the lads there like cringe when I'm doing all the picky and the video stuff, but I don't care. I want to experience it all, and they are pictures that I look back at. If you go to a concert and you end up watching it like this, I'm guilty of that as well. But do you ever watch those videos back? Because I know I don't, but the Goodison stuff, I will watch back and I'll look back at them, and soon all we'll have is our memories and those pictures. So yeah, God, yeah, I haven't even started the Ipswich review yet, and I'm 9 minutes in. I'm already like about to bawl my eyes out. So yeah, and felt like bawling my eyes out after the Ipswich game as well. So I've made some notes here again. The final Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff at Goodison, home we called just 132 and a half years, isn't it? So ahead of our move in the summer to the Bramley Moor Stadium. Supporters Day, so the fans were encouraged to wear blue, and it just looked amazing. It looked amazing. It felt amazing being in there. The starting 11 for Everton: Pickford, captain again, Patterson, Branthwaite. So Patterson did end up keeping his place. Branthwaite, O'Brien, centre backs, and Mikalenko. Left back, Adjusagay, James Garner, and holding midfielders. Alcaraz came back in with Nzai and Dwight McNeil making a start, and then Beto started again up top. For Ipswich, Alex Palmer, Jacob Greaves, Wolfenden, Burgess, O'Shea, Morsey, Taylor, and Ciso, Chaplin, Hutchinson, and Delap. And the Blues quickly took control of the game. We're doing pushing on to. I'm not going to go through all of the chances on this. I'm just going to go through it. But we did have control of the game quite early on, and after 26 minutes, after a little bit of a breakdown on the left, Mikolenko tried to put a cross in, and it ended up coming back to Alcaraz, who took some time, got it onto his right foot, and curled a great ball in to Beto, who leaped well and finished great with his head into the bottom corner. And great to see Beto back on the score sheet down the park end. After breaking his non-scoring spell for a good few games, and good to see that link up as well. Alcaraz putting that ball in, and it wasn't a hopeless ball. Wasn't he picked him out well. Really, really good goal. And then within 10 minutes of that, the Blues are 2-0 up. A lovely. I don't know. I don't know how to describe this goal because it looked the way the goalie was so wrong-footed that it had taken a deflection. It hadn't. It's just McNeil came in from the right-hand side and unleashed it from about 25 yards outside of his left foot, and it curved away from the goalie into the far corner. Goalie completely wrong-footed. It kind of went around the defender the other way, not around that way. It was a strange one, but great finish. It really was. And 100th appearance for the club. And yeah, Blues 2-0 up and absolutely cruising. That's where the Everton domination ended, unfortunately. Ipswich managed to get one back shortly before me going down for the half-time bev. 41 minutes in, and Ciso picked up the ball, skipped past one player, and then just was not closed down at all. But he unleashed it, and it was just an amazing 25, 30-yard shot. That I think the way it was described on a telly, the way it dipped underneath the bar, people saying about Pickford having little arms, you could have put bloody Mr. Tickle on there and he wouldn't have got it. The way it went, it dipped kind of last minute, just an utter screamer. My concern was how he was allowed to run and unleash that again. You could say the same about McNeil, so really. My problem was with it, and I'll come on to it in the news section in a little bit. Garner seemed to just wait and hold his ground there, and Enciso has got a history of letting off shots like this, so a little bit naive. And I wonder whether if Tarkovsky was in there, whether he would have, he's one for getting anything in the way of the ball. So that was a little bit of a shame. So we go in 2-1 up at half time. Let me see. So before that, there was a little bit of a barney between Jake O'Brien and Liam Delap, and it was a little bit of handbags, but he looked a bit narky. And last time he was narky, he had a bit of a narky with Tarky, and he came off on the wrong end of that and disappeared for the rest of the game. The game at the weekends, he bit of handbags with O'Brien, but that didn't seem to make him shy away from stuff, and he went in a little bit later on, shortly after getting a yellow for that tussle with O'Brien, and really should have got a second yellow, but didn't. So done a little bit of favour there. So second half, and Ciso looked dangerous still. Shot from the edge of the area with comfortably saved by Pickford, and then McNeil cross and narrowly missed connection with Beto and Ndiaye. But unfortunately, the Blues had kind of lost the grip on the game here, and then Hutchinson's cross deflected by Idrissa Gueye, stood it up to the back post, and George Hurst who'd come on, headed back from headed in from about a yard out to make it 2-2. So some of the substitutions in there, Calvert-Lewin made his return for Beto in the 77th minute. Harrison came on just before their goal, replacing McNeil. Ashley Young replaced Patterson, and Chimiti and Irabunum replaced Alcaraz and Adjusagay. So maybe now we'll see Alcaraz for the rest of the season. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, Decore missed the game due to personal issues. I saw him on the. He's been doing interviews this week, so I wonder whether he's over those that whatever that was. But he seemed to intimate that he hasn't received any offers from Everton yet, but he's received them from elsewhere. So he's going to have to see how the next 3 weeks go. But if it doesn't, he's going to have to decide soon. So it very much sounded like the ball's in his court, decision wise, but Everton don't seem to be making any offers, so we'll see. Where are we? Oh yeah, so possession, Everton 57.5, Ipswich 42.5. Everton 8 shots, 3 on target. Ipswich 12 with 5 on target. Everton corners 3, Ipswich corners 3. Fouls, Everton 12, 15 to Ipswich, 4 each for the yellow cards. So a bit of a letdown, a lot of a letdown. 2-0 up. It's not the first time. The Man U game when they pulled it back, that was a shocking one. Early on in the season, we went 2-0 up twice and ended up losing both those games. So at least we didn't lose this one. But you're looking at Ipswich. You've got to be doing that. You've got to be finishing that. You've got to be holding on. And Moisey, after the game, expressed frustration over the team's inability to maintain a lead, made some terrible decisions for their second goal, and never shook Ipswich off. Some of the terrible decisions. So I think people were shouting for a foul on Mikalenko. Whether it was or not is by the by. There still should have been enough there to stop the cross coming in, and enough in there with the giant defenders in there to stop the ball. And they didn't. And easy header at the back post from, as I said, about a yard out. McNeil, on his 100th appearance, reflecting on it all, it was nice to contribute again to the team. It's just disappointing we could not get the victory. Yes, very disappointing. And then Kieran McKenna praised his team's resilience, noting the group stuck together. I think we deserved at least a point. And you look at those shots that they had, it's disappointing to say it, but yeah, at least the point they deserved. And we can't do that against Southampton. Imagine the anticlimax that would be for the last ever game there. Already an anticlimax the last ever Saturday game. So, so from there, what else was there to do apart from go back and have a few more scoops? Again, in the company of Pat van der Out, always a pleasure. And then Paul and co. My intention was to carry on the Comic-Con vibe and celebrations and the after party. Did not happen. I think it was at home in bed by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, trying to ring me Mrs. Video call on the walking through town, talking absolute nonsense, chatting utter wham. So ended up out again. Yeah, Comic-Con on Sunday. So. Yeah, I'm getting far too old. I mentioned it before, these 2 things in a row, but this was 3 in a row. I'm too old for it. I need to just, pipe and slippers, that kind of thing, I could just rein it in a little bit and behave myself, but where's the fun in that? So, Ipswich game and the weekend. I'm just went completely blank there. I'm going to leave there, and I'm going to come back in a sec with quite a little bit of Everton news.
This is Bob Latchford. I'm not bitter, just better.
News.
So starting off with the Everton news of the week. So this story, I've said before, won't go away. Liam Delap, interest intensifies, leading the race to sign Ipswich striker Liam Delap. 30 million release clause. Apparently, has he's had interest now from Man United and Chelsea. Tottenham was supposed to be interested in him, and now Arsenal are apparently interested as well. Moisey has apparently expressed a keen interest, saying we're interested in Liam Delap if he's interested in us. Although I don't have a source for that. And he went into 37 Goodison Road and signed the wall, which has sparked even more speculation after the game at the weekend. So, um, yeah, you know what? Young up and coming player like that, he's done decent enough in a poor side with Ipswich. Hopefully, we're going to be losing at least. Well, we're definitely losing one striker, aren't we, bro? Yeah, potentially Calvert-Lewin, although he's potentially, he came on at the weekend and he's apparently done a U-turn, although it's not been met with by a lot of positive fanfare, let's just say. Um, but it looks like, it's 50-50 whether he stays now, and I think the common uh, fact is not common. It's not a common ground. It does seem if he does stay, a lot of fans are saying it would have to be on a much lower deal than he's on, maybe even like kind of a lower, much lower deal and pay as you play kind of thing. I don't think those things necessarily. Why would he do that if he got like a big offer elsewhere? But he hasn't got those big offers elsewhere. I don't like what people saying that this offer's been on the table all year. How do we know that? Has anyone seen this or heard this? Because people are saying now he's had no interest, so now he's talking about. Hasn't he just been asked now about it though by BBC? Or I don't know how this works. So has the BBC been contacting him all year and asking him, and then he's come out and said this, or have the BBC just contacted him now and he said this? So if they've been like knocking or calling him or texting him like every week, and then he's decided not to talk to them until now, then there's cause for him, to call him for saying he's trying to, play it because he's got no other interest. But we don't know these things, so I think it's easy to speculate, and that's all we can do at the moment. Um, I've said it before. If he can get that Carlo form again, he's not. He's still. I think he's still our best striker, and yeah, and I think, his stats are something like 50, 53, or 57 goals in like 200, over 200 appearances. But I remember he was at one point, he was playing like right wing back under Koeman. And how many goals are you going to get from there? And then playing up front, up top under Dyche for the better part of 2 years. Yeah, you could put. I want to say you could put Messi up there, and he wouldn't get the. He probably would. Not as many though. Another forward linked with Everton, Premier League returners, former Arsenal winger Nicola Pepe, currently at Villarreal. 29-year-old now, and he's apparently attracting interest from us and Wolves. Only 2 goals and 4 assists in 23 La Liga appearances this season, so he could add experience, but not necessarily the goals that we want. But we're going to be we're going to have to bring a few players in, well, quite a few players in, aren't we? Other potential targets: Ben Doak, Liverpool winger on loan at Middlesbrough, top target apparently. Again, I'm not too sure about this. Coney De Winter, Genoa centre back. Again, Everton, Wolves. Have we got the same scouts or what? And Inter Milan. Georgios Vagianidis, Panathinaikos right back, 8.4 million release clause, and also on our radar, Chris Riggs still from Sunderland, 17-year-old, and he could be one coming in from the future. One coming in from the future as well. Harrison Armstrong returning from his really successful loan spell at Derby County. So it'd be good to see him. I'm not sure how this works. I think he probably could come back into the squad, couldn't he? Because their season's finished. So that'll be good. Another option on the bench. So that'll be good to see him if he is eligible. Say I'm not 100% sure how that works. So I've just put in these notes here James Garner question mark. And only because I've seen not necessarily news speculation and murmurs on social media because he's apparently changed his Instagram um, profile picture to just taking Everton off it and just change it to like a black circle. So this is sparking speculation that he's unhappy because it echoes moves in the past like Anthony Gordon and Ross Barkley who did similar things. Um, the talk is that he's potentially being singled out by the Boo Boys and and he doesn't like it. And there was a little bit a while ago about Garner at the club. He's very quiet lad, and he's tries to let his football do the talking. I think I criticised him a little bit before for just standing and not closing down. But other than that, I think he's intercepting the ball a lot. I still would like to see a little bit more spreading the player out a little bit, which is meant to be his game. But he's picking up other bits though, so it's tricky as he's growing into that role. He's picking those other bits and to the detriment of his natural game. So hopefully he can find that balance. Still, he's still young, and hopefully we'll get that. And hopefully, if people kind of give him that time, or maybe something has happened in his personal life, and again, these speculation, but we don't know. Still, it pops up every week, this, but still, Bramley Moore Dock Stadium edging closer to completion. There was little bits of aerial views of the walkway and stuff like that with the Everton Stones, and still can't wait to get down there and get my picture of mine, like I tend to do whenever anyone points a camera at me in anything to do with Everton. I do my thumbs up and yay, I look like a knob. Sorry. Another thing, Goodison Park seat styles. So the club have come out and offered fans their seats in a package for 90 quid plus 10 a tenner. But they've also oh yeah, for in a commemorative kind of frame. It looks really nice. Yeah, I'm torn. I'm very torn on this. They've also said that it's criminal damage if anyone does take their own seats, but it's criminal to enter the pitch, and that happens as well. I just what are we going to do with them? I'll talk about the post game celebrations that the Blues have planned in a minute. But what are we going to do with them once we kind of if we do go in and remove them ourselves, which I'm not saying people are going to do. Uh, what are you going to do with it for the rest of the day? Take it back to the pub? Take it down, county roads? I don't know. So, um, and are they going to clean them up? Because my seat's been the same for what 30 odd years, all kinds of marks all over it. Do I want it that way? It's a tricky one. Um, So yeah, 90 quid. The exclusive purchase window runs from May 9th, which is tomorrow, Friday, until May 26th. 90 quid plus 10 effort postage and packaging, and you get a design presentation box with a certificate of authenticity. Do you know what? I think I might end up getting it, and when I finally do get my podcast backdrop, I'm going to try and stitch up or put all my old shirts together as a backdrop, and then maybe have that, and then some of the we'll see what else. I don't know. But that would be. I'm still debating. Yeah. Uh, the home kit's apparently being leaked, and traditional take on elements aim to bridge the history with the future at the new stadium. Uh, Again, that hasn't been confirmed yet, but there was strong rumours that is the official kit. So let me see. I'll move on to the third one to Goodison Park. Dunk's been doing a lot of press again ahead of the release of his autobiography. Even then, of coming through town then before, and he had his official book launch. Oh, he did the St George's Hall event last night. He had a signing at Waterstones, fully sold out today. Of course, Paul has got him on Devonshire at the end of the month and facilitated a lot of other groups who've got him on for different events, but the Devonshire one will be the best because he's very comfortable there and yeah, I think the same kind of crowd and we get a different side of things every time. It's really amazing and pictures with him, of course. Okay, so the news that came out after I'd already planned this was the event and the plans to commemorate the final game at Goodison against Southampton. So they have announced that the after full time the bar will stay open until 2:45, I think it was. So fans can go out, get a drink, and then come back to the seats for the entertainment, which will be a lot of former players and some special guests. Remains to be seen whether it will or will not be Paul McCartney, but I doubt it. It's probably more likely to be, as Stuart Tagg on our Facebook put, Atomic Kitten and Sonia. I don't know. Paul McCartney, yeah. I'd settle for like the Cult or someone like that. That'd be amazing. Um, yeah, good old footy tune that. She sells Sanctuary. Um, yeah, but you know, it's only an hour after. Well, just over an hour keeping the bar open. By the time you get served and that's optimistic, isn't it? Um, we'll see. But 12 o'clock kickoff. I imagine County Roads will be absolutely heaving by 9 a.m. I think Paul's Bar's going to open about. I think he said it's a 9 a.m. start, so I think people will be well oiled by the time that match goes ahead. Um, yeah, there will be a few tears shed there as well. Okay, so moving on. There was some news that was coming out. Apparently, Leeds United have expressed an interest in Everton striker Beto. So they'll be looking to strengthen with their promotion, and I think a fee. People he was being linked with a move to Italy for around 19-20 million. So if Leeds match that, um, we could well see. It depends who we get in, doesn't it? So that'll be interesting. And the end of season awards have been put out there for fans to vote on. The goal of the season, men's senior team, women's senior team, and academy. So I'll probably start putting some posts out around that. Trying to think who our player of the season would be. Young player of the season as well. Would you be looking at someone like Branthwaite or um, Jake O'Brien, even though he's only come in for half the season? Tricky one, but it's always fun. Those things, aren't they? Pickford again, Tarky, goal of the season, Tarky. What goal am I talking about there? Well, you know which one that is. So Everton news there. Here's our social media links, and I'll be back with a look ahead at the Fulham game in a sec.
This is the Not Bitter, Just Better Everton podcast. If you haven't already, go and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/EFC Not Bitter, Just Better, or you can find us on Twitter at Just Better EFC.
Okay, so there you have our links. I said it last week that I hadn't been as active, and I haven't again this week because it's just been so chaotic. When you're there at the ground and stuff, obviously your signal just goes in. It just goes bye. So on Friday night, even though we got to see a lot of the exclusive kind of stuff, we were asked politely not to share any of the dressing room stuff. So I'm not sure whether that's just because. Well, looking back now, it's because the team shirts that were out were the selected team that were out there on Saturday. So Calvert Lewin's shirt was there. Should have known this really because Tarkovsky's and Seamus Coleman's weren't. So we should have had an idea of that's why. So hopefully able to share these stuff. I'm going to put some compilation videos together. But the knock-on effect of that has just been trying to catch me tail for the rest of the week. So could probably do with one or two others to just help run the social media kind of stuff, just with the day-to-day stuff. And then on a match day, you'll probably notice I post the team news once we get it, and then the signal just goes to oblivion, and then my mind signal just goes to like, yeah, that's it. I yeah, I can barely operate my phone. Never mind have a cohesive Everton content. Creative mindset. So I'm gonna have to try and sort that out. Maybe I should do some scheduled posts and stuff, but we'll see. Starting to work on a few little things. With my job, I've got like an opportunity for a lot of facilities. So I'm also looking into doing some broadcasting courses. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, expand me ever expanding CV. We'll see. Anyway, let's talk about the. I guess in that broadcasting, it'll be don't waffle. So final bit of news I'm putting in here because it's relevant to Saturday's game. Marco Silva is former Blues manager, of course, apparently leading candidate for managerial position at Al Hilal. Previously declined offers from Saudi clubs. He's now said to be considering the opportunity. He's done. I think he got a bit of a raw deal at Everton when you look at what Dyche was given, and when you look at what people like Benitez and Allardyce at the club. Really unfortunate. Obviously, didn't have the greatest time, but he seems like a good fella, and he wasn't the worst in the time I've seen. I'll tell you that. So Saturday, May 10th, Everton v Fulham at Craven Cottage, and current standings: Fulham 11th on 51 points. Everton now down to 14th on 39 points. That really should be up 41, sorry, after the weekend. Fulham are still chasing Europe in a top 8 finish, and we're kind of just aiming for the best, highest we possibly can. They've got some injuries at the moment. Rodrigo Muniz, Harrison Reed, and Reece Nelson. Obviously, Everton's got Tarky out. Calvert-Lewin's back amongst the squad. Lindstrom and Mangala, obviously, and Decore still potentially dealt with for those personal reasons. We haven't heard any updates. Obviously, Moyes will probably do his press conference tomorrow. The predicted lineups: Leno, Tate, Anderson, Bassi, and former Lou Anthony Robertson, Sasa Lukic and Sander Berg in midfield, and then Sessegnon, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Iwobi, another former Blue, has been really good form this season, and Jimenez. Everton potential lineups: Pickford, and then right back you're looking probably Patterson again, potentially Ashley Young. If Moyes has seen all he has to see from Patterson, I think he's probably got to go with Patterson, and then potentially O'Brien and Branthwaite again, and Mikalenko. Midfield, likely to be Idrissa Gueye and James Garner, but if Decore is back, I wonder now. There's no chance of Alcaraz triggering that must-buy clause. Whether if he wants to keep him on the side and put Decore in, whether he'll drop him a little bit deeper, or he wants to see more of Irabunum. We'll see. Harrison, Ndiaye, and Alcaraz potentially, but then now you're looking at McNeil as well, who started last week. So where might he pop in? Start and a goal on his first start back. So, and then potentially Beto up front, but now he's not only got Chimiti pushing him, he's got Calvert-Lewin and Broja pushing for that starting lineup. But again, he started and scored, so it'd be a shame to see him dropped. But we've got to, if we want to keep Calvert-Lewin, he's got to be given time to prove himself again, hasn't he? Or has he? It's a tricky one, that. Yeah, so Fulham's ones to watch. Robinson's really pacey, overlapping runs. Jimenez obviously scored a lot of goals. Very good finisher. Um, and their form lost against Villa, beat Southampton 2-1, lost against Chelsea, lost against Bournemouth, and then beat Liverpool. Our form last game. Sorry, I think I did that the wrong way around. Then our form last game out against Ipswich 2-2. Then lost against Chelsea and City, beat Forest, but then before that drew with Arsenal. Wants to watch Iwobi, Jimenez, of course, and Robinson on that overlap. And for us, hopefully Nzai can get another step closer to full fitness and start controlling games a little bit more. And Alcaraz, can add to his assist from last week. No predictions from me, of course, because why would I do that? I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's me done. 8 pages of notes and other waffle. So it'll be a good one. So we've got this, then we've got the Southampton game, and then the visit to Newcastle. And then what are we going to talk about? Hopefully, all of our new signings and the excitement of moving to Bramley Moor Dock. And yeah, exciting times. And I guess over the next few weeks, I'm going to be breaking down, and breaking down more because I nearly started off crying before, didn't I? So, yeah. Hopefully, get a lot more content on Saturday. I might even be brave enough to ask for an interview. Who knows? I always think, well, I don't know what if I was doing it myself, I'd be like, well, I am. But if I was staying on my own, I might be more inclined to. But I'm kind of with people, and they're like, oh, cringe, because they're not like part of the. They don't like the pictures taken and stuff. But I don't care, and I've put myself out there on YouTube talking about Everton. So I obviously don't mind someone sticking a camera on me. So yeah, but we'll see. So yeah, Saturday we'll be in the bar watching, and we will be going on another tour around Goodison, and then we back the bar hopefully with some. Well, there'll be like 3 or 4 other blues there. I'm not sure which ones yet. So if anyone's listening to this and going on that, say hello. Should be another emotional one. Hopefully, it'll be another emotional podcast next week, and I'll be talking about an Everton win. Until then, thanks for listening, and I will catch you then. Come on, you blues!